Growing up, my sister Maya and I were practically twins, even though we were 2 years apart. We had this unspoken language where one look across a crowded Thanksgiving table meant we knew exactly what the other was thinking. We shared everything from our first vinyl records to our hatred for cilantro, and eventually our entire circle of friends. When I met Elena 7 years ago, I did not just find a wife. I found the missing piece of our puzzle. Elena was magnetic, and she is the kind of person who walks into a room and instantly remembers the name of the caterer and the favorite color of everyone she meets. She is warm and effortless, and she treated Maya like the sister she never had for years. It was the three of us doing backyard BBQs and road trips to the coast and Sunday night football. I thought we were the lucky ones, and I thought my sister was just being a supportive friend when she would show up to help Elena garden or stay late to help her finish a work project. Then Maya got engaged to Greg, who is a solid architect and a patient man. But as their wedding date crept closer, the atmosphere shifted. It happened at the bachelor weekend we did in the mountains while we were all sitting around the fire passing a bottle of bourbon. Elena said something goofy about my terrible dancing, and she leaned her head on my shoulder laughing. I looked over at Maya, and she was not laughing. She was staring at Elena with a look that felt like a punch to the gut. It was not jealousy of our marriage, but a raw hunger, like someone watching a life they could never have. In that split second, our unspoken language betrayed her, and I saw everything, including the reason she had hesitated every time Greg brought up moving out of state. She was not in love with Greg, but was using him as a shield to stay close to us and stay close to her. The morning of the wedding, I went to Maya's dressing room where she was sitting in a stunning white gown, looking like a literal angel, but her eyes were red and puffy. She looked at me and whispered that she did not think she could do this. I wanted to be the big brother and tell her it was just cold feet, but I could not lie. So I just sat there in my tuxedo with the weight of the secret pressing down on both of us. She did not say Elena's name out loud, and I did not ask her to, as we just sat in that heavy, suffocating silence. 10 minutes later, she stood up and wiped her face and said, "Let's go." I walked her down that aisle and stood behind her as she traded vows with a man who worships the ground she walks on. The whole room was sniffly watching the beautiful, emotional bride cry through her vows. But as I handed her the ring, I caught her eye and saw the heartbreak. I saw the vow she was actually making, which was to keep living a lie, just to stay in the same room as my wife. The party is still going on downstairs, and everyone is cheering with toast after toast about true love while I am sitting on the balcony realizing that the sister I have known my whole life is a complete stranger. The worst part is that Elena is down there right now giving Maya a huge hug and telling her how happy she is that they are finally officially family. She has no idea that every time she hugs my sister, she is breaking her heart, and I have to spend the rest of my life pretending I do not